redoing my home office.
Okay.
And I have selected so many of the little paint sample
Color
cards, color swatches that I
Oh.
could wallpaper the office now. And I still don't have the right color. So these are the things that I wrestle with along with hockey.
What prompted you to redo the office?
That would be my husband falling through the ceiling of my office from the attic.
Well,
which was epic.
That happens sometimes, but I'm sure he was able to get out quickly and didn't have to.
No, it took him a minute, and he didn't get hurt. Like, I mean, like, we can laugh about this.
Let's be clear.
He was uninjured, but it was great because I saw the whole thing happen, and it was like slow motion funny. And then like his shoe was like in one far corner of my office. The other shoe stayed on his foot. Eventually he pulled himself up. He was fine.
But, and that's the only reason that we're joking about it.
Yeah. But so now, I mean, we've got a lot to talk about with hockey also still trying to find the right paint color for my office. So that's how Ann is.
If you have ideas on an office paint color for Ann, just
I got
let
some
us know.
Great ones last night on Twitter. So shout out. Good.
So if you've got more, just reach out to her there on the Twitters, or formerly known as whatever
it is.
You know where it is.
Yes.
And we're going to start like we always do with our happies and crappies. I'm going to let you start. Okay. I think it's better when Ann starts. Her happies are usually happier.
Oh.
It's good to start the show off on a positive note.
I think, yes. Let's come out of the gate with a happy. And my happy this week, this PBR week, Wednesday to Wednesday, my happy is the delightful Matthew Wood. 3 goals and 4 points in 3 games this PBR week. And I have to tell you, I could not be more delighted to see his success coming. This is a young man who, you know, along with some other young players, and we're going to get to that after the trade deadline, like, hey, here you go. See what you can do with this. And I have loved what we've seen from Matthew Wood pretty consistently through the season. But I love what we saw from him this week. He is playing center, which is not brand spanking new to Matthew Wood. But I love what we're seeing from him. We're seeing some of that vision, some of that playmaking. I also love that, like, he seems very trustworthy. With the puck.
He's responsible.
Very responsible with the puck. And I love, like, in the Buffalo game this week when they had a power play late and they were going to go 6-on-5, they pulled Saros. And out on the ice, of course, on the power play, you've got Yossi and
exactly who you'd expect to be out there, right?
And then your 6th player that Bruno sends out, Matthew Wood. I love that. Also, can we just talk about the fact that this is a delightful human being to talk to. I talked to him earlier this week about pressure and being a young player. And now, like, you have this new opportunity, blah, blah, blah. And he said, you know, he really just does not feel pressure at all when it comes to playing hockey. But this is what he did say. And I just have to reiterate this because it just delighted me. He said, quote, when I stepped on the first tee box playing golf with Stamkos and Yossi and Marchessault, that was probably my most nervous moment in sports.
So not hockey.
No, not hockey related
not
at
an
all.
NHL debut.
Nope. But golfing with those guys was just a step too far.
That I can see. I mean, I think the nervousness that you don't want to let them down. Like if you're in a golf foursome, right? It's like, I don't want to let these guys down. I mean, I don't know. Are these players just known for their golfing abilities?
They're supposed to be very good. They're not. Gus Nyquist has been the best that they've had in recent seasons, according to
golf-wise.
Yeah, golf-wise. Okay. But also, I would not want to suck at something in front of Jonathan Marchessault because I feel like he has the wit to make you pay.
A rapier's wit. He would let you know. He would be very cutting.
Yes. So I feel that for Matthew Wood. So Matthew Wood this week, definitely my happy this PBR week.
That's a good happy.
Yeah.
Now, do we want to go to crappies and then end with a happy so we end on a positive note? How do you want to do this?
I don't know. What are you feeling?
Well, Ann, I asked you. I wanted your opinion.
All right. You know what? You go.
Okay.
You go. Do a happy or crappy. Surprise us.
I'm going to go with a crappy.
Let's do it.
Okay. So I think this is well known. I've never made any secret about this, but I love third pairing defenders.
Yes.
And fourth liners.
Yes.
Like, I like watching, the elite guys, but I really appreciate the grind that has to occur for someone to be a good fourth liner.
Yes.
Or a solid third pairing defender. I don't know. That's just, I get that. I love that. So seeing the fourth line, or at least that those identity players on the fourth line depart from the team. And of course, I'm talking about McCarron and Smith.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of hard. Like, I didn't enjoy that. Now, the thing is that fourth line's identity on the ice is what's really missing. And I'm not saying like, well, they're not doing a good job of replacing, but it's just different.
It is different.
There's a different tenacity that I think Cole Smith had for checking. I think he just made the other team miserable in all those moments where you kind of see that you give the other team a chance to regroup in their zone and come back out. He never let them do that. And so it's really weird now, kind of sometimes see that happening when the fourth line's out there, like, oh, you should be all over these guys.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of the learning process. I'm not going to be overly critical of saying that what's replaced that isn't good, but I am going to say that I miss that identity. And I'm excited to see the new identity evolve for sure.
Yeah, that was a big thing for Andrew Brunette post deadline, is like those, particularly Smith and McCarron, those have been guys that have been consistent.
Right.
And you can point to and say, that's what we want people to play.
Right.
And I don't know. Have you watched Smith or McCarron play in Vegas or with Minnesota yet since they've been traded?
No.
Yeah. Watch Michael McCarron the other night doing exactly what you would expect Michael McCarron to do. Yeah.
I've seen him get interviewed several times wearing wild gear.
Ugh, looks hideous. Hideous. Bad look.
That's not a color you want.
That is not going to be my office color. No.
All right. And let's go to your crappy.
My crappy. Yeah. Listen, we got to talk about the starts, the first periods for the Nashville Predators. This PBR week, Nashville scored just one goal in the first period of all three of their games. Look, we just have to be honest. The first period last night against Seattle, truly, not even being theatrical here, one of the worst first periods I have seen the Nashville Predators play.
Yeah.
It was reminiscent of last season, where it looked like nobody really knew. The left hand didn't know what the right hand was doing. It was just awful. I thought it was a shocking turnaround, but the starts matter. And look, Nashville came back. They won the Seattle game. In case you didn't stay up late, they actually won that game.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
Yeah.
I did not know till this morning.
Yeah. But in the post game, Andrew Brunette talked about the starts, and this has been a thing. This has been a hitch in the giddy up all season long. This is what Andrew Brunette had to say about Nashville's starts.
Yeah, it's been a thing, and we've tried to put our finger on it, and we tried about everything, and I think just some nights it's just kind of who we are. You can't explain it. Some nights it's fluky goals, some nights it's big mistakes, some nights it's just the first shot goes in. So, but we're sort of used to it, which is in its own way not a great thing, but at the same time we don't give up.
Yeah, it's just who we are. I don't want that to be who the Nashville Predators are.
I don't like that.
And look, they don't either. And I am telling you, they have video analyzed, and they have conversed, and they have come at this logistically. They have come at this, from a mental framework. They just can't seem to fix the starts. And I'm telling you, you cannot go into the postseason being a team that just hangs on in the first period.
Absolutely not.
So yeah, that for me, that is a crappy. That is a crappy.
I agree. And I'll say this is just kind of like a bellwether for that whole situation. Look, I've got an 11-year-old hockey player. There's two things he enjoys, and it is sport.
Yes.
And not going to sleep.
Yeah, that's accurate.
In that order.
In about 4 years, he will want to sleep more, but I get where you're at now.
But we're 11, and that's what we're doing. And as he begs, please let me stay up and watch this game. And West Coast start.
Brutal.
For some reason, I don't know why Seattle games seem to start even later than 9:00. It always seems that way.
It's Bowie.
Like you said, I don't. You blame Bowie?
I do.
He is a little troll.
He is a
little bridge troll. And here's the thing. I finally acquiesced. Okay, you can watch the first period, and then as the game starts, he's like, I want to watch the second period too. Well, then the first period happens, and he goes, "This is what I'm seeing. I'm going to bed after the first."
My eyes.
So when the 11-year-old who desperately wants to do nothing more than watch hockey and be awake says, yeah, I'm going to sleep, you know it's bad. And I'm not saying this to be critical. I couldn't have done better myself, right?
But that's the reality.
The reality
was
that was a bad period of hockey. And when I went to bed when he did, because I was very tired last night, and I didn't want to expend any more effort watching. And I said, I'm just going to go to bed. We'll see what happens. We'll check the damages in the morning. And I checked the damages in the morning, and I was quite surprised.
Say what? Yeah.
To see my happy. I'm fitting it in.
Oh, are you going to fit it in, or do we want to save it?
No, we've got it.
Okay.
Well, look, it's the kids playing. I always want to see the kids play. We talk about, we got to get the kids out there, and we're seeing the kids play. And Ufko's first goal.
Let's go.
Literally the goal that when I showed my son this morning, I said, hey, the Preds actually won that game. What? And he wants to know who scored. I tell him, I said, but you've got to see Ufko's first goal. I show it to him, and he essentially passes out. And when he comes back to, he goes, that's the goal I practice in the driveway every day.
That is the 8-year-old Ryan Ufko after practice goal. Only it happened in real life in the NHL.
That's exactly right. Now, when we come back, we're going to take a realistic look at where the Preds are. But before we go, I do want to give you a realistic look at one of the best companies I know in this area, and that's Tennessee Valley Paving. It's a third-generation family-owned and operated company serving Middle Tennessee since 1957. They handle everything from driveway and parking lot paving to municipal and commercial projects, and even specialty work like tennis courts and aviation pads. They're bonded, hold an unlimited license, and ready to serve your paving and sealing needs. Call Tennessee Valley Paving today at 615-794-2351 or visit TennesseeValleyPaving.com. Tennessee Valley Paving, serving the region with quality you can count on. If you're looking for the best spot to catch every game, head over to East Nashville's favorite sports bar, Beyond the Edge. With over 30 TVs and 25 beers on tap, you'll never miss a moment. They've got you covered for lunch, dinner, and late night, serving food all the way until 2 a.m. Plus, enjoy happy hour every weekday from 2 to 6. And don't miss 2 for 1 Sundays. That's Beyond the Edge at 112 South 11th Street in East Nashville, your home for every game. And we're back.
Can I just say, Beyond the Edge is the place to go during a West Coast road trip. Because these games start late and they end late. You can still get food.
You can still get food. And I'm telling you, if you have not been out there, you're missing out.
Yeah, great place.
Great atmosphere, great staff. Everybody's friendly. They're happy that you're there.
Yep.
You know, it's none of this like glaring at you like, are you going to leave?
Are you going to leave anytime? No, you can watch. You can watch your West Coast games.
Watch your West Coast games, and you can eat your West Coast. I don't know if it's West Coast food. Just eat your food. Eat your food.
Eat your food
until late. All the way until 2 a.m.
Love that.
Look, we try to give honest hockey talk on this show. It's part of our intro, and it's not for no reason, but we're going to be honest. And what we have to do is we have to be we've done this all season long. We're trying to give you a realistic look at where the Preds are. Now, I've said, and I've gone on record, I've said I don't think this team makes the playoffs. And that was really easy to say when they were behind by 6 points and all these things. And things are a little bit different now. And I'm not coming off of what I said.
Really?
I'm not. Well,
you're staying with it.
Stand by it.
Okay.
Now, don't get me wrong.
I shall not clarify, so I don't.
I'm enjoying it.
It's a ton of fun right now. Stressful.
But I was also saying this before they made changes.
Yeah.
And they've made changes. But right now, as it stands or sits, I don't know. Is it sitting or standing?
They say it's standings.
As it stands in the standings, they are currently 1 point out of the second wild card spot. Now it was very, very eventful to have won that 4-point game last night
in Seattle. Yeah.
Tied with the Sharks, 66 points, 1 point behind the Kings. Kraken have 67.
Yep.
Sharks have 2 games in hand. Seattle has 1. Talk to me, Ann, about the rest of this schedule, because we're getting down to the end here.
Yeah, we're looking at 18 games left for the Nashville Predators. And one of the websites, first of all, it has one of the best names of any website ever.
Yeah.
Tankathon.com.
I like that.
Chef's kiss. They rank strength of remaining schedule for all of the NHL teams. And I took a look at this. And interestingly, Nashville is ranked 26th. So 25 teams have a more challenging schedule, they say, than Nashville. And according to Tankathon.com, Nashville's hardest remaining games are Minnesota, Tampa Bay, Montreal, and then they play Anaheim twice. But the games that they classify as, quote, easy, LA Kings, who they are battling for a spot with, they play them twice. The Winnipeg Jets, not an easy team. The New Jersey Devils. And again, we have to face the Seattle Kraken. The Predators will face them at home later on.
Okay.
Seattle's strength of schedule, 17th. San Jose's 29th. So those are some of the teams that we're kind of wrestling with. Here is where, as a person who says, let's see if they can get to the playoffs, this is where it gets a little dicey. You look at the April schedule and it is brutal. April is brutal for the Predators, the way that the season has played out. They kick off a 6-game road trip on March 29th in Tampa Bay. Hard game. And then they go to LA. That's going to be a hard game.
Yep.
San Jose, battling with them. Back to LA, still trying to get points on them. Go to Anaheim. They're a whole thing. And then they play Utah. So 5 games to kick off April on the road. There is not that's an easy win. Remember when we used to say that about Buffalo?
Yeah. It's not anymore.
Not anymore.
But then good for them.
Let's go.
But here's what I'll say too, is it's really funny, that road trip has a lot of 4-point games.
It really does.
So you're looking at some massive swings and fluctuations that can happen just through the course of, if you look at the Kings, Sharks, Kings situation, chaos. It's going to be chaos. If things remain this close, those games will be chaotic. They'll be must-watch games.
Yeah.
For everybody. Not just for Preds fans, not just for the opposing team, but that'll be a good game.
Yeah.
You're going to see 2 teams and they know what they're battling for.
Yeah.
So it'll be good. But that is going to be a gauntlet.
It's a tough gauntlet. This is a tough stretch for the Predators because of the specific schedule, but also just the way that the Western Conference has played out.
Right.
This is going to be a tough 18 games. And are you saying you don't think that they're going to come out of this with the second wild card spot?
I don't.
Okay.
Does that make me a bad person?
No, not at all. Honest hockey talk. We say the things.
Again, prove me wrong. I'd love to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be wrong.
Yeah.
And there's a variety of reasons I want to be wrong. I think a lot of people might argue that it's not worth making it into the playoffs. I would disagree.
Yeah.
And I have a variety of reasons. I think we're going to talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like to see them make the play. If I was saying I didn't think they make the playoffs with the previous iteration of the roster, I certainly can't say it now with a lot less experience. So I'm just going to stand by it until they prove me wrong. And I hope they do.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think you have to be honest. And again, put a pin in it. We're going to circle back to moves at the trade deadline. But with the experience that they moved off of this roster at the trade deadline, it seems an even bigger stretch for this team to make it. Now, prove us wrong.
Prove me wrong.
But when you look at, this last stretch of 18 games, who does Nashville need to kind of drag this team into the postseason? Who is a player or what needs to happen for you, Sean, to say, okay, I see that.
I want to see the first period look different.
Oh,
and if that's not something we've been saying for more than one season, I don't know what is, but I'd like to see the first period look different. Now, if you're wanting me to name a player, it's got to be Saros.
Yeah.
For me, he's got to look crisp in the first. He's got to look ready to go, letting some by early in the defense. Well, the defense got to step up and play more solid defense in front of him. We can't hang it all on Saros.
Yeah.
So
he did a great job in Seattle. Even people who have been consistently critical of Saros have to say, okay, well, I see you made those 40 some saves.
Yep.
But again, I agree with you. First period for me.
Okay.
Philip Forsberg.
Okay.
I think it's got to be the veterans. And yes, Stamkos has been playing really well. Ryan O'Reilly has been playing really well. But for me, this is a Philip Forsberg thing.
Sure.
That's the guy that I think, the Predators need to lean on, that needs to consistently carry this team through these last 18 games. This is, and again, I agree with you. You got to look at the defense and say, hey, we're going to need a little bit better from you in the last 18 games. You see Saros, better start defensively and there's a lot that has to go right over 18 games and in moments in each of these individual games. It's going to be tough.
And just, Forsberg, veterans in general.
Yeah.
It's one thing to say, okay, well, we've got a lot of young guys coming up and you want to mentor them and we want you to be there to be an example and all of the things you hear over and over again, which I agree with again. But when it comes to this point in the season where it's make or break time for the playoffs, those are the guys that you're going to have to look to for the leadership, the guys that you're going to have to look to do the dragging of the team into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And, you can include in that, Saros is a veteran of the team. Forsberg, Stamkos, not a veteran of the team, but a veteran of the NHL. Marchessault, Ryan O'Reilly. That's that core group of guys that you need to see scoring goals, putting it all out there, sacrificing the body to block shots, things like that, to continue being that example. Because, I think realistically, a lot of the guys that you look to play some of those hard and ugly minutes
are gone.
And so you can't turn around and say, yep, it's all on the kids to prove whether or not it's not.
Yeah.
The kids are fighting for something else right now. Sure, they're fighting for the playoffs, but the guys that have dedicated, reserved, safe spots on the roster are the ones that need to do the heavy lifting and need to make sure that the job's getting done. I think beyond that, beyond just those guys, right? You need to look at your Brady Shays. You need to look at who else would you say?
That's a great here's one. Luke Evangelista, kind of in the middle. He sort of sits in the middle of these young kids and these veterans. But what we have seen from Luke Evangelista this season, he's got to be a consistent guy like the veterans. I don't know that he's at a point where we should expect him to bring up a younger player's game, as they play with him yet. Like you see, you can credit Ryan O'Reilly with some of that. You can, Forsberg, all of that. I don't know that he's there, but he has to perform like a veteran.
And I think too, I'll say this, you watch practices, you watch pregame, you watch all of these things. what did we always see at practice? Who would be like the last two guys off the ice?
Oh, it's always listen.
Well, who's the last guy?
Oh, it's always Ryan O'Reilly.
Always Ryan O'Reilly. Who stayed out there with him all the time?
Yep. Luke Evangelista. Let me tell you something. If you wanted to speak to Ryan O'Reilly or Luke Evangelista, I literally change my eating patterns if I know I need them for an article, because I know it's going to be past lunchtime by the time they roll into the locker room. You always have to pack a snack.
Yeah.
If you need to talk to one of those guys.
If you want to talk to one of those guys,
pack a snack.
Pack a snack.
They're great.
They're great to talk to, and it's worth it.
Worth it.
But I think if you look at the trend in Evangelista's game, I think you can really point a lot to him looking at that example and emulating that example and doing the things that O'Reilly does. And that's what's making him better. So I do think, even though you wouldn't want to point him and say, you're a veteran of this team and you need to lead these younger players, because he is a young player.
Yeah.
I think he's probably doing it anyway.
Yeah. Do you know who else just recently, just point of fact, and then we'll move on?
Who's that?
Who is often now off the ice same time as Evangelista and Ryan O'Reilly? Matthew Wood.
And that's exactly what you want to see. Now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the trade deadline. We're going to put that one to bed here. We'll be right back on 102.5 The Game. Welcome back to Penalty Box Radio on 102.5 The Game. The time is now upon us to discuss the topic of the week, I guess you could say, really, of last week. This PBR week's a little bit different because last week, when you were on the air, we didn't realize that all of the Preds trade deadline activity was finished.
No, I mean, it was still kind of going through a wish list and a what do you think could happen list. And now it is all unfolded.
And now we know.
Now we know.
You could have just been done talking about it on the last show, but instead.
Well, no, Bunting still went after the last show.
Oh, he
went to Dallas. But other than that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what about Blankenburg?
He went 3 minutes before we went live.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was in a different city when all this was happening.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
It was insanity. But we now know that the deadline has come. It has passed. There are now no more trades.
No more trades.
And until we assume that the new general manager is announced, there won't be any more moves. We're assuming that anything that would happen in the offseason would be the decision of the new GM. And of course, there have been articles that have come out elsewhere and as well as at Penalty Box Radio, kind of breaking down thoughts and opinions on the trade deadline. But I think we should give our thoughts because it's all just part of the conversation.
Yeah.
So, Ann, what do you think?
I was whelmed.
Okay.
I wasn't overwhelmed and I wasn't underwhelmed.
Just whelmed.
I was just whelmed. Can I say this? This is not about the trade deadline, but I was more surprised about the response to the trade deadline than I was to the moves themselves.
Let's explore that.
Let's dig into that.
Okay.
For me, I went into this really not having expectations.
Okay.
Because a lot could have happened. Next to nothing could have happened. And this was a really unique trade deadline in the sense of where Nashville was in the standings, but also, and I think far more importantly, Barry Trotz and knowing that he is going to be handing over the reins. I was surprised by how strong the response was that people were disappointed that he didn't do more. I was really surprised by that.
Okay. I was surprised too.
Why were you surprised?
Well, I was surprised by the same thing. The response was that Trotz should have had a fire sale. It almost seems like, and I feel, again, let me go back. I'm going to say again, I don't think the team's going to make the playoffs. I think they'll just miss, and I think that's okay. But I'm hopeful. So here's the thing. If you have a fire sale, what you're saying to the new general manager is, hey, you're going to have to rebuild this team from the ground up. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but if I were out there and I was going, I'm a general manager candidate for the Nashville Predators, and I would be interested in taking over this job, I'd be much more excited taking over the job if decisions about major pieces hadn't already been made for me.
100%.
And what I mean by that is you got to let go of the unrestricted free agents. And well, what about Erik Haula? I mean, I saw some people say that it was a crime he was still on the roster.
Can we talk about that?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Just real quick. Okay.
I know what you're going to say.
And I understand on paper why people are like, why wouldn't you trade UFA Erik Haula?
There's value.
There is value.
There's value.
You're going to get nothing for him. Trading Erik Haula at this trade deadline, whether it was Erik Haula or Michael McCarron, people throw in Ryan O'Reilly. We've got to trade Ryan O'Reilly. You then take what we know on paper is a vacuum where centers should be in the franchise, and you turn that into a reality if you don't keep some of them.
Right.
Why would you not, for me, I get you gave up some sort of draft capital.
Right.
But at some point you need a body with a pulse.
Yeah.
On the ice. And friends, who you going to get? Who
will center the lines?
Who will center the lines? So for me, people being so upset that all of the UFAs didn't go, I think he did a great job getting value for the ones that he did, except Nick Blankenburg. I'm offended.
Well,
Anyway,
we're all a little offended.
We're all a little offended about that one. But yeah, I slept fine at night with Erik Haula staying here.
And look, the line always is, if you don't see that this person is a part of this team moving forward, then you got to get rid of them. Have you heard that said before?
Of course, but nobody knows what this team will look like going
Correct.
forward. You want to know why? Because we don't know who the general manager is going to be.
That's right. And I think the thing is, it's almost like this, people are looking at the team, and I say people, I mean, potential general manager candidates.
Correct.
Are looking at this team right now like someone looks at a house on Zillow.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you see this picture of this. That's just, what's the number one selling point of almost any house? It's always the
backyard
kitchen. Right.
Oh, not for me. Oh, never. It's never the kitchen. But for
where am I going to make my sourdough bread, Ann?
Yeah,
not in the backyard. Well,
no.
I might put the starter back there.
Mine is the front door because that's where DoorDash drops it off. But go ahead with your analogy.
We don't want to have another hour of sourdough chat. And
the kitchen.
So the kitchen is typically what draws the kitchen and bathrooms, I think, because a bedroom's an empty space.
Yeah.
When you look at a kitchen, you see this great looking kitchen. You're like, I really like these cabinets, and that's a really nice stove oven combo there. And oh, there's a pot filler behind the thing. And these are all things that I'm looking at going, I could walk into this kitchen and I could make a delicious meal for my family. But then you find out that the house doesn't come with the cabinets, and it doesn't come with a pot filler, and it doesn't come with the stove or the refrigerator.
Not such a great kitchen.
It's not such a great kitchen anymore. So to me, if you get rid of everybody, and I'm talking O'Reilly and Stamkos and Marchessault and all of these things, right?
Yes.
How unappealing is the general manager position if it's like, hey, you're going to have to start from scratch?
Yes. I also think far fewer general managers adhere strongly to the belief that the only way to build a winning franchise is a complete teardown. I think that probably is a more popular idea on the outside of that front office door than it probably is on the inside
100%
of that office door. So I think that's it. I also think it was interesting and when I say in the room, I'm talking about the online room that doesn't really exist. But I found it so fascinating that a lot of people who have pretty consistently not liked what Barry Trotz has done in his tenure as GM. And look, I'm not saying I've been thrilled with everything. I'm not saying everything he did was terrible. But people who generally have not liked the moves that Barry Trotz have made were infuriated that he didn't make more moves.
Right.
Y'all, a lot of people haven't liked what he has done. And again, I don't discount there should be a discussion about some of these things. But I think it's interesting that the frustration was the guy that we didn't think was a great general manager didn't do more general managing.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
But I think those questions on those guys, that's a question for the next GM.
I agree.
And I think that this job is much more appealing if you're allowed to come in and make those decisions about those players than if those decisions have been made for you.
Yeah. I also think and I know people may disagree with this, but I really do think that you are not sacrificing just franchise changing value if you opt to move veterans in the off season. If a new GM says, you know what I want? I really do want a little bit more freedom in the roster. I want a little bit more cap freedom. So I do want to move these pieces.
Yeah.
I don't think that you have sacrificed gargantuan value because it didn't go at the deadline.
No, because I think cap space is a very valuable thing, regardless of how you get it.
I like money.
And we've made a critical error. And
I find that hard to believe.
I know
but point
it's a
it out.
shocker. We have overplanned this segment. We have so much good stuff to talk about in here.
We do have a lot more to talk about.
And I'm looking at it and I'm like, there's a lot of stuff to talk about in here. So what I think we're going to do, we're going to call an audible, which is, from what I understand, is a website or an app where you can listen to books being read to you.
It's great.
I don't know what that has to do with what I'm about to say, but I think we're going to continue this into the next segment. So let's not rush.
Okay.
We're making decisions. We're doing it live.
Penalty Box Radio live, friends.
Live,
you get what you get.
Air. We're gonna make the good decisions here. So let's just keep talking about this. When it's time to go to break. We'll go to break. We'll come back. We'll keep talking.
Yeah.
But look, here's what I want to say. There's so much more I don't know. There's so much more, I think, value wise that you can get out of starting another season with these veterans on the roster than if you
Mhm.
just decide to go, well, let's just get rid of them for the sake of getting rid of them, regardless of who the general manager is or who makes the decision. I think a total rebuild is not that appealing to a potential good general manager candidate.
Mhm.
I think it's interesting that you saw a team that was, 6 points out of the second wild card spot with the original lineup you had, and now you're
Mhm.
looking at a team a few games after the deadline that's 1 point out of it.
Mhm.
So what that says to me is that you're bringing up guys that are quality players, they're finding their role, and maybe you don't have to do a total tear down and rebuild
Mhm.
in order to make this team a contender. Maybe just some key additions, some key changes are going to make all the difference in the world. And you'll see a team that has the potential over the next few seasons to get back into contention where you don't look at the first round of the playoffs being the round where you get swept
Yes.
by the
Yes.
Colorado Avalanche.
Oh, the pain. The
So,
pain.
and that's just me talking here. But anyway, look, we're going to talk more about this when we got other stuff talking when we come back. But before we go, when it comes to barbecue in East Nashville, nothing hits like Drifters Barbecue. Smoked slow and low, their pulled pork ribs and wings bring real smokehouse flavor. And at Drifters, it's not just about the food, it's the music. They've got live music every night from Riders Night on Mondays to Bluegrass Sundays on their covered heated patio. Great food, great music, and the perfect East Nashville vibe. Drift over to Drifters Barbecue at 1008 B Woodland Street in East Nashville. That's Drifters Barbecue, slow, low, and local. Tennessee Valley Paving has been family owned and operated since 1957, now in its third generation. From residential driveways to commercial lots, city road work, and specialty paving like tennis courts and aviation pads, they do it all. Plus, they offer sealing to protect your investment. Need paving you can trust? We all do. Call 615-794-2351 or visit TennesseeValleyPaving.com. Tennessee Valley Paving, trusted locally and built to last. Now, those of you listening to the podcast, you won't be able to hear the song that was played on the way in, but
top tier music
I
again.
will tell you that I spent about 7 months of my life once with that song inextricably stuck in my head.
Billy Joel's Greatest Hits is the best music.
Masterclass.
The best music choice you can make.
Now, this segment is not about Billy Joel or sourdough.
It could be, but it's not. Or Office Colors.
Or Office. We're going to talk about hockey. I know. If you were here, like, oh, I thought they were going to do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not. So we've been talking a lot about the youth.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to spend a little bit more time talking specifically about who these players are and how they've performed this PBR week. Ann's got a great breakdown. I'm going to let her knock this out for you guys.
Yeah. So this PBR week, Wednesday to Wednesday, 3 games. Matthew Wood, 3 goals, 4 points. Fedor Svechkov, 2 points. Zach LaRue, a goal. Reed Schaefer, a goal. Ryan Ufko, a what in the what goal?
Man. What
2
goal.
points. I mean, what I have loved is that this opportunity has not yet looked too big for these guys.
No.
Which has been great to see. You knew it, the Boston game, like they knew. I mean, gauntlet thrown. Hey, we got rid of these veterans.
Yeah.
You're up. And they were fantastic, but I thought they were a key part. They were a visible key part of the comeback against Seattle. Hats off.
Yeah.
Hats off to these guys.
I'm happy with it. And I think, what I want to say about these guys in particular, when it comes to the rest of the season, is that this for them is an audition. Now, a lot of people might hear that and say, oh, it's an audition to make the team next year. No, I don't think it is. I think it's an audition to see where they fit on this team. And what's important about that distinction is they're not playing to say like, hey, look, I deserve to be on the team, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, new GM, look at me. I deserve to be here. No, I don't think there's a debate about deserve to be here, but I think what they're trying to prove is that they fit somewhere on this team and they want to be more than a fourth liner or a third pairing defender. They want the new GM to know when they walk through that door the first time, hey, this guy is going to play here.
Yes.
He's at this level.
Yes.
So we've got to find people to fill in these holes elsewhere, as opposed to this just, oh, these guys, fourth line. These guys, third pair, because they're new.
Yes.
This is an audition for where they will play on the team, not if they will play on the team. And I think that's massively important. Now, speaking of young guys and fun.
Young and fun.
There has been some discussion today.
Oh, we have stirred the pot.
And it goes to what will the nickname be for the line comprised of Zach LaRue. Friend of the show.
Love. Good egg.
Matthew Wood and Reed Schaefer.
Yes.
Okay.
That line was fantastic against Seattle. And I think that this is a line that you could see more time with now. Of course, Matthew Wood has centered up and down the lineup, but we saw those 3 together and it was gorgeous. And so, of course, we're instantly like, let's workshop this.
Love it.
And you all do not disappoint. Can I just be clear? Do not disappoint. We put this out on Twitter/X and could not be more proud of the Nashville Predators fan base when it comes to creativity and what they've put together. So do you want to share a couple that you like?
Do you want me to wait to share my favorite? Or
yes, wait till the end.
We collectively determine that.
I think you and I are on the same page for faves, but pick some that you like, and then we're going to circle to the faves.
So there's one that I do like. It is the Swole line.
Come on. It makes us sound cool, first of all, that we even know that's a word.
We are clearly young-ish. and we represent the youth of America.
We were born in the 1900s, Sean.
I heard somebody referred to it as the 1900s the other day in class. Like all my research comes from the 1900s, and I was like, "Whoa, just stop."
Oh, simmer down.
I threw up in my mouth and kept going with my day.
Yep.
A little.
But
sadder.
we know swole.
But swole, and that of course is S, capital W, lowercase O, capital L, and that of course is for Schaefer, Wood.
Yep.
And LaRue.
Yep.
I like that one.
Love that one. I want to give a shout out for this one. And look, there may be male hockey fans, and this is a generalization, and forgive me.
I think there may be some male hockey fans.
Well, no, that may not appreciate the genius of this one.
Okay.
But for the female hockey fans, and again, I don't mean to generalize, I love the name The Swift Line.
Okay.
Because we're talking about Taylor Swift. Red, which is Reed Schaefer's nickname. That was an album of Taylor Swift's.
Okay.
She has a song called Happiness. Of course, LaRue translates to happy. And Matthew Wood, there is a great song on her new album simply called Wood.
Is it about Matthew Wood?
It is so not.
Okay. I haven't
we'll discuss that off air.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're all 22, which is a popular Taylor Swift song. So shout out.
Okay.
For the Swift Line. Now, I don't know that it's going to catch on, but it is freaking brilliant.
Let's just cut right to our favorite.
I love this.
And I'm just going to say that the reason that, it's the Milwaukee's best line.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the reason for that being that all of these guys called up from the Milwaukee Admirals.
Yep.
And of course, if you're getting called up to play in the NHL, you must be the best. But of course, I don't know if people have heard of this before.
Back in the 1900s.
Does it not exist anymore?
I don't know.
Okay. Milwaukee's best is a beer.
Correct.
Known in most circles as the Beast.
The Beast.
Or Beast Light,
mm-hmm.
depending on which variety you're choosing to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, we don't want to use Beast Line because that's been used before with this team.
Yes.
So Milwaukee's best line for me has it. I love it. I think it's great.
Love that. I love that. Milwaukee's best. Yeah. And again, back in the 1900s when I went to college, all people drank.
And I can't.
Other people, let me be clear, because sometimes my mom listens. All other people drank was Beast.
And I can't think of a bad decision that wasn't made without a little bit of that being involved first.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to move on. We want to fit this in. I do want to revisit very quickly because we didn't get a chance to revisit on the last show, but before the Olympics, Ann and I made some predictions about who we thought would win gold in the Olympics.
We did.
And one of us chose America.
Anyway.
I can't take a victory lap because these aren't wireless headphones.
Listen, I knew it was going to be good. I knew they were going to be good. I really and listen, Sidney Crosby didn't play for Canada, but also, man, women's hockey and men's hockey at the Olympics.
Oh man, it was great.
Oh my gosh.
It was great. So I just want to say congratulations, Ann, for your choice. Sorry it didn't work out for you.
That was out loud.
But
live on the air.
I feel like you were okay with the result.
Okay.
No?
It's fine.
Okay. I know
I'm whelmed.
I know I'm whelmed. Okay. There we go. So let's close the show talking about, of course, I'm going to let Ann have the rest of the show. And it's not much.
It's not much.
I'm going to let her implore you to watch sled hockey.
Y'all, we loved the Olympics, women's hockey, men's hockey. The medal matches were incredible. I am telling you right now, Team USA is going to do its darndest to bring home the third gold when it comes to a hockey sport.
That's
this
right.
is para ice hockey, also known as sled or sledge hockey. We touched on it last week. The Paralympics have kicked off. Of course, we've played preliminary rounds. Team USA just has been incredible in the preliminary rounds. They are going to the semifinals. They are going to play Czechia in the semifinals. Czechia, a very good team. Canada in the semifinals is going to be playing China. Both good teams. I am predicting it now.
Okay.
Gold medal match will be Canada versus USA. And I am begging you Sunday morning to tune in for that medal round because you will see hockey that is as intense, as fast, as high skilled, and as spicy as we saw in women's Olympic hockey and men's Olympic hockey between US and Canada. You must tune in.
Okay. Those teams hate each other. That's all we've got for tonight. We're going to get off the air. Thanks for listening to Penalty Box Radio Live. We'll see you again next week.